Welcome back to the deep dive. It is 2025, and I want you to just take a second to look around. Metaphorically, I mean.
Right.
It feels a little bit like we are all living in a glass house right now, doesn't it?
It certainly does. The walls are transparent and the floor is transparent.
Exactly. Financial monitoring is tighter than it has ever been in human history.
Yeah.
Every digital move you make, every coffee you buy, every subscription,
It all leaves a footprint.
it leaves a footprint. And not just one that washes away. It's like a footprint in wet cement.
That is a very apt description. And that cement, it hardens. The days of the Wild West in finance, where you could move value around without anyone noticing,
Fun.
those are shrinking rapidly. I mean, for most people, they're already gone.
But, and here's where it gets really interesting and why we are here today. Right in the middle of this surveillance age, there is this thriving, highly controversial technology.
Mm-hmm.
And it's designed specifically to defeat that monitoring. We are talking about making digital money invisible.
Invisible to the public eye, invisible to data scrapers, and often, invisible to law enforcement.
Yeah.
We are doing a deep dive into a comprehensive 2025 analysis of cryptocurrency mixers,
Mixers.
sometimes called tumblers.
Tumblers. Okay, that sounds like something I'd use for my laundry. Or like part of a lock.
That is actually the perfect analogy. The
Yeah.
laundry, not the lock. We are definitely going to lean into that.
Okay.
We have a stack of reports here covering the mechanics of these tools, the absolute legal minefield they operate in, and, the big question, do they even have a future?
So the mission for this deep dive is pretty clear. We need to explain how you can actually hide a transaction on a blockchain that is famously public.
Right.
Because that's the paradox, isn't it? Bitcoin is supposed to be anonymous, but everyone tells me it's a public ledger.
That is the single biggest misconception in crypto. It persists even now in 2025.
Really?
Bitcoin isn't anonymous, it's pseudonymous. If I know your wallet address, which is just a string of characters, I can see everything you have ever done.
Everything.
It is like having a bank vault made of glass. Everyone can see the stacks of cash, they just don't necessarily know who owns the vault.
Until you use it.
Until you use it to buy something delivered to your house, yeah.
So if I send you money, everyone sees it. The mixer's job is to smash that glass. Or maybe paint over it.
In a way, it's about breaking the link. The core function of a crypto mixer is to just sever the chain of custody between the sender and the receiver.
So no one can connect the dots.
So that no one, not a government agency, not a hacker, not your nosy neighbor, can draw a straight line from A to B.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because this sounds like magic, or money laundering, or maybe a bit of both.
It can be.
How do you digitally break a chain that's hard-coded into a permanent ledger?
You have to think about it like a communal pot. The source material uses this concept, and it's really the only way to visualize it properly.
Okay.
Imagine a massive pot of cash sitting in the middle of a room.
All right, I'm picturing a giant cauldron.
Good. Now, you walk up and put in a $20 bill. It has a specific serial number on it.
Right, linking it to me.
Exactly. That serial number links it to you. Maybe you got it from an ATM near your house. But then 1,000 other people walk up and throw in their $20 bills.
So now we have a huge pot of cash all mixed up.
Right. The pot gets shaken up, mixed thoroughly. Then you reach in and you take out a different $20 bill.
Same value, though.
Exact same value. You haven't lost any money. But the serial number is different. The history of that specific bill you're holding, it has nothing to do with you. The bill you put in is now in someone else's pocket.
And in the crypto world, that pot is the mixer service.
Precisely. The mixer takes incoming transactions, it splits them into tiny little pieces, combines them with money from a bunch of other users, and then spits out brand new transactions to your destination wallet.
So if a forensic analyst looks at the blockchain later, what do they even see?
They see a mess. They see inputs going into a black box and totally unrelated outputs coming out. The line is gone.
It's a digital shredder for the paper trail.
That's a good way to put it.
Now, our notes highlight a couple of real-world heavyweights in this space. One of them is Blender.io.
Blender is a classic example of a centralized mixer. And when we say heavyweight, we mean volume. According to this analysis, you can mix up to 50 Bitcoin in a single go.
50 Bitcoin. I mean, even with the market where it is, that is a staggering amount of money.
It is huge.
That's not just someone hiding an embarrassing purchase. That's institutional scale.
It is. And Blender supports Litecoin and Ethereum too. But the secret sauce for Blender isn't just the volume, it's the timing. They allow you to set time delays.
Why would I want a delay? If I'm moving money, I want it there yesterday.
Because speed creates patterns. Humans are predictable, And computer algorithms are very, very good at spotting our patterns.
Ah,
If you put money in at 1200 and exactly 50 Bitcoin comes out at 12.05, an algorithm can correlate that. Oh, big entry here, big exit there. 5 minutes later, that's a match.
I see. It's too neat. It looks suspicious.
Exactly. But if you put it in and it comes out in random, jagged chunks over the next 24 to 48 hours,
Much harder to track.
it muddies the water, it increases the entropy or disorder of the whole thing.
But here is my hang up with Blender.io. It's a website, right? Run by people.
Yes, it is a centralized service.
So I have to trust those people, not to just run off with my 50 Bitcoin.
You hit the nail on the head. That is called custodial risk. You are handing your crypto, effectively, to a stranger.
Right.
And that is why the second example in our research, Tornado Cash, is so fundamentally different.
Tornado Cash is the one everyone talks about. How is it different?
It's non-custodial. It operates using smart contracts on the Ethereum blockchain. It's not a company you interact with. It's a piece of code.
So I'm not trusting a guy named Blender in a basement somewhere.
No.
I'm trusting math.
You're trusting the smart contract. You deposit funds into the contract, usually ERC20 tokens like Tether or DAI, and the code handles the mixing. It's the same pot concept, but run by robots.
Okay, let's make this concrete. I want to feel the anxiety of doing this. Let's say I have 500 USDT. I want to move it, but I don't want my landlord or the government to know it came from me. Walk me through it.
Okay, let's do a hypothetical transaction.
Yeah.
Step 1, you have to choose your lane. If you are on Ethereum, you're using Tornado Cash. If you are on Tron, the source mentions a service called mixro.io.
Let's stick to Ethereum. I connect my wallet, like MetaMask. Then what?
Step 2 is the deposit. You send your 500 USDT to the Mixer's smart contract. Now listen closely, because this is the part where if you mess up, you lose everything.
Uh-oh.
When you make that deposit, the system generates a secret key or a cryptographic note.
A secret key? Is this like a password I can reset? Forgot my password.
Absolutely not. This is the only proof that you own that money inside the pool. It's like claim check at a coat check, but if you lose the ticket, they burn your coat.
Wow. Okay. No help desk to call.
No help desk, high stakes.
Okay, I've got my key. I've written it down, locked it in a safe. My 500 USDT is now sitting in the contract.
Right. And it's swimming in a pool with, say, 10,000 USDT from 100 other people. This is step 3, the mixing.
Shaking the pot.
Exactly. Then step 4, withdrawal. You go to a brand new wallet address, one that has never been linked to you before. This is crucial.
Right. If you withdraw to your old wallet, you've just reconnected the chain.
You've defeated the whole purpose.
Yeah.
So you provide that secret key to the smart contract, and it releases 500 USDT to your new clean address.
But it doesn't just send me 500 flat, does it? That would look suspicious again.
Good point. Usually not. The source details some fascinating obfuscation tactics. It might break your 500 USDT into 5 separate transactions of 100 USDT each.
And space them out.
And space them out with random delays, 15 minutes here, an hour there.
So from the outside, I sent 500 USDT into a black box. And later, 5 random chunks of 100 USDT popped out of that box to a totally different address.
Good luck proving those two events are connected. It's plausible deniability baked right into the transaction.
It is incredibly clever, but it also sounds like a lot of friction. Managing secret keys, waiting for delays.
It is.
The source material points out that mixers aren't the only game in town. If I just want privacy, aren't there easier ways?
There are alternatives, but they all come with trade-offs. It's kind of a pick-your-poison situation. The source compares mixers to 3 other methods: anonymous networks, obfuscators, and CoinJoin.
Okay, let's run through these. First up, anonymous networks. We're talking about things like Tor.
Right. Tor, or I2P. These are crucial tools, but they solve a different problem. They hide you, not the money.
They hide my IP address.
They hide your IP address and your location by routing your traffic through a bunch of nodes around the world. So if I'm logging into a crypto wallet, the website doesn't see that I'm sitting in New York.
Got it.
But,
Whoa.
and this is a massive but, it doesn't hide the on-chain link.
The ledger still sees the money move.
Yes. If wallet A sends to wallet B, the blockchain records it forever. Tor puts a ski mask on your face while you make the transaction, but it doesn't erase your fingerprints for the bank vault.
And it can be painfully slow.
Very slow. Not great for active trading.
Okay, so Tor is partial privacy. What about obfuscators? That sounds sophisticated, like a Harry Potter spell.
It sounds fancy, but the source describes it as the quick and dirty approach. Obfuscators are algorithms that just try to confuse the data. They add extra weird operations to the blockchain data to throw off analysis tools.
The source notes these are fast, though. No waiting.
They are fast, but the downside is reliability, the kind of analytics tools governments use. They're getting really, really good at seeing through simple obfuscation,
It's a cat and mouse game.
and the mouse is starting to lose. It's like trying to hide by wearing a fake mustache. It might fool a casual observer, but not a facial recognition camera.
That brings us to the third one, CoinJoin. This one I find fascinating because it doesn't need a third party, right?
Correct. CoinJoin is a technique, not a service. The idea is that a group of users coordinate to combine all their transactions into one giant transaction.
Like carpooling for money.
That is a great way to put it.
Mhm.
Imagine 10 people want to go to 10 different places. Instead of taking 10 cars, which are easy to track,
Yeah.
they all get on one big bus with tinted windows.
You see the bus leave, but you don't know who got off where.
Exactly. One transaction, multiple inputs, multiple outputs. It's decentralized. You aren't trusting a central server. But the con is it requires coordination.
So you're sitting there waiting for the bus to fill up.
Exactly. It can be time-consuming. And specific analysis attacks are getting better at unraveling them. If one person on that bus makes a mistake, it can compromise everyone.
So looking at the menu, mixers, especially the smart contract ones like Tornado Cash, seem to be the gold standard for total invisibility right now.
They are.
Which brings us to the giant regulator in the room.
The legal minefield.
This is the central tension. Is this a privacy tool for honest people? Or is it just a laundry machine for criminals?
And the answer from governments, especially in 2025, is leaning heavily towards it's a laundry machine. The source makes it clear. Depending on where you live, using a mixer is either a legal gray area or explicitly banned.
Let's look at how that crackdown is playing out. The United States seems to be leading the charge.
Oh, yeah. The U.S. has taken a very strict, aggressive stance. They view mixers as tools for North Korean hackers, ransomware gangs, you name it.
And the source highlights the sanctions on Tornado Cash as a turning point.
A massive turning point. The Treasury Department put a piece of code on a sanctions list.
Which is just wild.
They did. In 2022, OFAC sanctioned Tornado Cash, accusing it of helping launder over $7 billion. They didn't just sanction a person or a company, they sanctioned the software itself.
That sets a huge precedent. It implies that just writing code can be a crime.
Or at least interacting with it. And under the Bank Secrecy Act, crypto platforms have to follow anti-money laundering and know your customer rules.
And mixers are designed to avoid exactly that.
Right. So in the U.S., touching a mixer can get your funds frozen by an exchange. Or worse.
What about across the pond? Is Europe any more lenient, with their focus on privacy rights?
They are big on privacy, but they are also big on regulation. They have the MiCA framework markets in crypto assets. And while mixers aren't universally banned, they are strictly regulated as services enabling anonymous transactions.
And they aren't afraid to kick down doors. The source mentions the chip mixer raid.
Yes, back in 2021, German police, working with international agencies, physically raided the data center. They didn't just block a website, they shut the whole platform down. Seized servers, seized money.
A clear
A
message.
very clear message.
And then there is Japan, which the source singles out as having some of the strictest regulations in the world.
Absolutely. Japan's laws basically require exchanges to prevent anonymous transactions. They are very focused on the entry and exit points.
So practically, if I use a mixer and then I try to send that money to a Japanese exchange to cash out, what happens?
You are likely going to hit a brick wall. The exchange's software will see the funds came from a mixer, and they will freeze the deposit. And they might report you. The system is designed to reject tainted coins.
It sounds like the walls are closing in, which raises the big question for the future. Is the crypto mixer dead in 2025?
Not dead, but it is definitely mutating. The source outlines 4 distinct paths forward for this technology. It's a fork in the road.
Okay, let's walk through them. What's path number 1?
Path 1 is adaptation, or what the source calls transparent mixers.
Transparent mixer. That sounds like an oxymoron, like dry water.
It does, doesn't it? But the idea is that the mixer introduces KYC and AML checks. You can mix your coins, but only after you prove who you are to the service.
So you get privacy from the public. My neighbor can't see my transaction history, but the government and the mixer service still know it's me.
Exactly. It offers limited privacy for legitimate users while keeping regulators happy. It turns privacy into a permitted privilege, not a right.
Okay, that's the compliant path. What's the rebellion path?
Path 2 is radical decentralization. We talked about Tornado Cash being a smart contract. The future might see even more robust platforms that have absolutely no central control, no admin keys, no website to take down.
If there's no server to unplug and no CEO to arrest,
Then it's very hard to shut down. This path is about making the code unstoppable. The developers launch it and walk away. It becomes like a force of nature. Or a virus, depending on your perspective.
but that surely drives it into conflict with the law,
Yeah.
which leads to path 3.
The underground. The source suggests that non-compliant mixers will just shift to the dark web,
Becoming purely black market tools.
which is extremely risky for the average user. You could get scammed, download malware, or just get flagged as a criminal for interacting with it.
It pushes privacy into the criminal sphere entirely.
It does.
So we have compliance, decentralization, and the underground. But the source mentioned a 4th path, the one that gets the tech geeks really excited.
Tech innovation. Specifically something called ZK-SNARKs.
ZK-SNARKs. Sounds like a sci-fi villain. Attack of the Snarks.
It stands for Zero Knowledge, Succinct, Non-Interactive Argument of Knowledge.
Okay, let's stick with ZK-SNARKs. What does it actually do for me?
It is a zero-knowledge proof. It allows you to prove that you know something without revealing the information itself.
That sounds abstract. Give me a real-world example.
Okay, imagine you are going to a bar. To get in, you have to prove you are over 21.
Right, I show the bouncer my ID. He sees my name, my address, my exact birthday. Too much info.
Way too much info. With a zero-knowledge proof, you could prove to the bouncer that, yes, I am over 21, without showing him your ID card at all.
How?
The math validates the claim user is greater than 21 without revealing any of the underlying data.
That is mind-bending. So in crypto terms, how does this fix the mixer problem?
You can prove I have the funds to make this transaction, and even I am not on a sanctions list without revealing who I am or where the money came from to the public.
That sounds like the holy grail. Privacy built into the math itself.
It is. The source suggests this will be central to the future. It allows for compliance and privacy simultaneously. You can prove you are a good actor without doxing yourself to the world.
This has been a wild ride. Let's recap.
We learned that mixers work by breaking the on-chain link, pooling funds to erase their history.
And we learned that while they're effective, they are under immense pressure from global regulators who see them as gateways for crime.
Right. The US, EU, Japan.
And the future is fragmenting.
Yeah.
We might see legal mixers with ID checks, unstoppable decentralized code, and new math like ZK-SNARKs that changes the game entirely.
It is a classic arms race. As monitoring gets better, privacy tech gets more sophisticated.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener? It means that in 2025, privacy is no longer a default setting. It is a product, it is a tool, and it is a battleground.
And that brings us to the big picture. We're moving toward a world where you have to actively choose privacy, and that choice might come with a cost, either a legal risk or just a loss of convenience.
Which leads me to a final thought I want to leave you with. We talked about transparent mixers, privacy tools that require you to submit your ID to use them.
Right. Know your customer to get privacy.
Here's the question I want you to chew on. If a privacy tool forces you to identify yourself to a centralized authority just to use it, does that defeat the entire purpose of the tool? Or in a highly regulated world, is that the only way privacy can actually exist?
That is the billion-dollar question.
Yeah.
Can you have privacy if you have to ask permission for it?
Something to think about. Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive. We'll see you next time.
Goodbye, everyone.